There's a huge part of me that actually feels uncomfortable with the whole idea. And that's just me.
Okay, hold on, because what I'm about to tell you is wild. If you thought the whole Selena, Hailey, Kendall drama was over, buckle up, because it just went to a whole new level. First off, Selena Gomez just did something nobody saw coming. She actually confronted Hailey Bieber. Yes, face to face, about something so petty but so messy, stalking her socials. And when I tell you the way Selena allegedly called Hailey out, it's the kind of shade you almost have to respect. But wait, because that's not even the half of it. Just when the internet thought they had all the tea, Selena drops this bomb about how Kendall Jenner, someone she once considered close, betrayed her in a way that has fans completely rethinking everything they thought they knew about their friendship. And if you think this is just another Hollywood tiff, oh no, no, no. These aren't just random little Instagram likes and unfollows. This is serious betrayal, public callouts, receipts being pulled left and right, and fans losing their minds trying to piece together who's loyal to who. So today, we're breaking it all down: the confrontation with Hailey, the betrayal with Kendall, the fan reactions, the timelines, and, of course, what this could mean for Selena moving forward. Trust me, you're not gonna want to click off this one, because the way these two stories connect, it's messy, it's dramatic, and it's giving full-on reality show vibes, but in real life. Picture this. You're Selena Gomez. You're living your life, focusing on your career, posting your little TikToks, updating your Instagram like anyone else. And then suddenly, you notice the same familiar eyes watching everything you post. A little too closely. Someone you know. Someone who shouldn't be paying this much attention. Now imagine finding out that someone is Hailey Bieber. Yep. According to sources, Selena finally had enough of Hailey lurking on her socials and decided to confront her directly. And guys, the word on the street is that it was not a pretty conversation. We're talking tension, awkwardness, and Selena holding her ground in a way fans have literally been begging her to do for years. But before we even finish processing that, Selena herself opens up about a betrayal she experienced at the hands of Kendall Jenner. And when she explained what went down, it wasn't just shade. It was like ripping the band-aid off an old wound. Because this wasn't just a little miscommunication or friendly disagreement. Selena is hinting that Kendall crossed a line, a big one. So now you've got Hailey allegedly lurking, Kendall allegedly betraying, and Selena caught right in the middle, speaking out louder than ever before. And you know what's crazy? The way these two stories are connected actually makes everything way juicier. Fans are piecing this puzzle together like detectives on Twitter. They're pulling old clips of Selena with Kendall at Fashion Week, resurfacing Hailey's past posts, and it's like every 5 minutes there's a new theory dropping. Some people think Hailey's obsession with Selena's socials ties directly into why Kendall and Selena aren't cool anymore. Others are saying Kendall's betrayal may have been the spark that reignited the Hailey versus Selena feud. And honestly, when you line up the timeline, the likes, the unfollows, the shady little comments, it all starts to make way too much sense. But let's be real, this isn't just about Instagram. This is about loyalty, jealousy, betrayal, and what happens when the Hollywood it crowd suddenly turns their back on one of their own. Selena confronting Hailey shows she's done playing nice. Selena calling out Kendall shows she's done pretending things are fine when they're not. And that shift? That's why everyone is talking right now. And here's the kicker. There's one detail about Hailey's alleged lurking that almost nobody's talking about, and it might explain why Selena finally decided to call her out now. Plus, when we get into Kendall's betrayal, let's just say, you'll never look at their friendship the same way again. So grab a snack, sit down, and stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what Selena said to Hailey, how Kendall supposedly betrayed her, and why this might be the beginning of the biggest Hollywood friendship fallout of 2025. Oh, and trust me, if you thought the Justin Bieber factor wasn't gonna sneak into this, you're gonna want to keep watching. This is not just celebrity gossip. This is drama that could change how we see these relationships forever. So let's get into it, starting with Selena versus Hailey, the social media stalking confrontation you won't believe actually happened. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It is free and help us bring you enjoyable content. And of course, watch till the end. Picture this. You're casually scrolling through Instagram, sipping your iced coffee, minding your own business, when suddenly you realize you're deep inside a rabbit hole of celebrity drama you didn't even know you needed in your life. Your thumb stops mid-scroll, your jaw drops slightly, and you mutter something along the lines of, "Wait, did she really just do that?" That, my friends, is the exact feeling that comes with diving headfirst into the chaotic yet fascinating world of Selena Gomez, Hailey Bieber, and the never-ending spectacle that is social media. What makes it so addictive isn't just the celebrity shine, the perfect selfies, or even the glamorous lifestyles. It's the bizarre little coincidences, the subtle shade, the accidental slip-ups that fans pick apart like detectives in a Netflix documentary. And if you've ever felt the strange mix of fascination and secondhand embarrassment watching one star appear to copy another down to the caption style, then buckle up. Because the Selena and Hailey saga is basically reality TV playing out in real time across Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Now, here's the twist that really makes this tale pop. Hailey Bieber, the gorgeous model turned beauty entrepreneur who also happens to be married to Justin Bieber. Yes, that Justin Bieber, the one who once serenaded Selena Gomez on stage in front of millions, has been caught red-handed doing something that fans can't stop whispering about. She's been accused of not just watching Selena's every move, but seemingly imitating her in ways that are, let's just say, eyebrow-raising. We're talking Instagram captions, music choices, friendship circles, and even tattoos. Sounds like a lot, right? But don't worry, we've got receipts, tea, and a front-row seat to the most binge-worthy digital soap opera of the decade. Every epic saga needs a beginning, and this one starts with one of the most iconic on-again, off-again love stories of our generation. Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber. Back in the early 2010s, when Instagram was still a baby app and we were all obsessed with Tumblr aesthetics, Selena and Justin were the it couple. They were young, ridiculously good-looking, and radiated that star-crossed lovers energy that made fans swoon and gossip magazines thrive. Their relationship was messy, passionate, and so public that every fight, every breakup, and every reconciliation became a trending topic. Let's start with the music. Selena Gomez has always been vocal about her love for certain songs. She'll post about them, sing snippets, or share playlists that give fans a peek into her personal taste. Innocent enough, right? But here's where things get spicy. Right after Selena shares a track she's vibing with, Hailey magically pops up featuring that exact same tune in her Instagram stories. Coincidence? Maybe once. Twice? Suspicious. But multiple times? That's when fans started pulling out their magnifying glasses and circling screenshots like they were solving a true crime case. Then there's the friend group situation. Selena posts photos of her close-knit circle, most of them non-famous, genuine friends who've been with her through thick and thin. Suddenly, Hailey's out here not only following these very same people, but being spotted hanging out with them individually. Now, admiring someone's vibe online is one thing. We've all double-tapped a stranger's aesthetic post at 2 a.m., but actively seeking out their friends in real life? That's next level. Fans began asking, was Hailey trying to step into Selena's shoes socially as well as digitally? It's the kind of move that makes you tilt your head and say, huh, interesting. And the list keeps growing. Side-by-side clips of interviews reveal Hailey echoing phrases Selena has used. Fashion choices that mirror outfits Selena wore years earlier suddenly pop up on Hailey's Instagram. Even beauty launches and brand moves sometimes feel like they're being pulled straight from Selena's playbook. Is it admiration? Inspiration? Or obsession disguised as coincidence? Fans can't decide, but they definitely have their suspicions. Now, here's where things get even juicier. Social media thrives on speculation, and when fans see a breadcrumb trail, they'll follow it all the way into the woods. But what's Hailey's endgame here? Is she trying to compete with Selena in an unspoken battle of influence? Is it insecurity? Or is it the age-old, if you can't beat join approach? The deeper you dive, the murkier it gets. And just when you think the story's reached its peak, a new coincidence pops up, keeping the cycle alive. The best part? Justin Bieber himself has stayed almost completely silent through all of this. You'd think he'd want to step in and squash the drama, but nope, his lips are sealed tighter than a vault. And maybe that's smart, because anything he says will be dissected, twisted, and memed to oblivion. Still, his silence only adds to the mystery. Does he secretly notice the similarities too? Or is he just staying out of the storm? Either way, the fandom is left to speculate, and speculate they do. Let's be honest, we've all copied someone before. Maybe you saw a friend rock a pair of shoes and suddenly found yourself accidentally buying the same pair. Maybe you caught yourself using a phrase your coworker always says, or you ordered a latte just because you saw your favorite influencer sipping one in their video. It's human nature. We mirror people we admire. Psychologists even have a name for it, the chameleon effect. It's when people unconsciously imitate the gestures, speech patterns, or behaviors of those they look up to as a way of building rapport or feeling connected. Now, on a small scale, it's harmless, even kind of sweet. But when the whole world is watching, when fandoms are ready to document every tiny similarity, and when the person you're echoing just happens to be your husband's very famous ex-girlfriend, that's when admiration starts looking a lot like obsession. And that, my friends, is why the Hailey-Selena saga feels so intense. Think about it. Selena Gomez isn't just any celebrity. She's a multi-talented powerhouse with one of the biggest fan bases on the planet. From her Disney days to her chart-topping hits to her raw honesty about mental health, she's built an image that feels authentic and relatable. Fans don't just like her, they love her, protect her, and defend her like she's their best friend. So when Hailey, who already faces the uphill battle of being the wife who came after, starts mirroring Selena's moves, fans don't see it as innocent admiration. They see it as calculated, even threatening. On the flip side, let's consider Hailey. Imagine living in a world where your every outfit, every caption, every interview is instantly compared to someone else's. Imagine having your identity constantly measured against your husband's ex, no matter what you do. That pressure could drive anyone to either lean into the comparisons or desperately try to outshine them. And in Hailey's case, maybe both things are happening at once. But here's the twist. Imitation isn't always about insecurity. Sometimes it's about belonging. Sometimes it's about trying to tap into the aura of someone who has what you want: respect, influence, adoration. For Hailey, who's often painted as just the wife of Justin Bieber, aligning herself, even subconsciously, with someone like Selena might feel like a way of earning legitimacy in her own right. Of course, to fans, that doesn't look flattering, it looks creepy. And once the creepy label sticks, it's almost impossible to shake. Here's where it gets even trickier. Fandoms don't just observe. They participate. Fans insert themselves into the narrative, shaping it in real time. They create memes, start hashtags, and flood comment sections, amplifying the feud whether the women themselves are even playing into it or not. In many ways, the Hailey-Selena drama isn't just theirs, it's ours. We keep it alive, we add fuel, and we make sure it never dies down. So maybe the real question isn't why is Hailey copying Selena, but why are we so obsessed with the idea that she is? What is it about seeing someone imitate someone else that fascinates us so much? Maybe it's because deep down, we all recognize the feeling. We've all compared ourselves to someone we thought was cooler, prettier, more talented. We've all scrolled through Instagram and thought, ugh, why can't my life look like that? Watching it play out on a celebrity stage just makes it feel bigger, shinier, and more dramatic. Selena's fandom, lovingly called the Selenators, are fiercely protective of her. They've been with her through the Disney Channel days, the heartbreaks, the health battles, and the glow-ups. To them, Selena is not just an artist. She's a survivor, a role model, a friend they've never met but feel deeply connected to. Which means anyone who even looks like they're messing with her. Automatic enemy. The claws come out, the hashtags start trending, and suddenly the internet is ablaze. But here's where things get explosive. Stan wars don't just respond to drama, they create it. Every like, repost, and snarky caption gets magnified 100 times. A vague Instagram story from Hailey? Boom. Instant think pieces about whether it was a jab at Selena. Selena posts a selfie looking unbothered? Boom. Headlines declaring Selena throws subtle shade. Half the time, neither woman has even said a word, but the fans have already built an entire season's worth of plot lines. Now that we've walked through the timeline, the receipts, the psychology, the fandom wars, and the media circus, it's time to ask the big question. What does this all really mean? Why are we so hooked on this drama, and what can we actually learn from it? First, it shows us just how powerful social media has become in shaping narratives. Two women post a photo, and the internet spins a feud. One song gets shared, and suddenly it's shade. Social media has turned us all into authors, but the storylines we create aren't always kind or accurate. Second, it highlights the universality of comparison. Selena and Hailey may be celebrities, but their struggles reflect our own. We've all felt overshadowed, compared, or reduced to someone else's shadow. Their story is a magnified version of what we live on a smaller scale every day. Third, it reminds us of the dangers of dehumanization. It's so easy to treat celebrities as characters instead of people. We forget that Selena has nights where she cries herself to sleep. We forget that Hailey has mornings where she doesn't feel good enough. We turn their struggles into memes and punchlines, but the pain is very real. And finally, it shows us the cost of a culture addicted to conflict. As long as feuds trend, peace will always be boring. As long as we reward shade with clicks, shade will always win. The cycle doesn't just hurt Selena and Hailey, it hurts all of us, feeding insecurities, divisions, and a constant sense that life is a competition. At this point, you might be wondering, is there a way out? Can Selena and Hailey ever escape this narrative? Can fans ever stop fueling it? The honest answer? Maybe not entirely. The internet has a long memory, and as long as the story is profitable, it will be recycled again and again. But here's the hopeful part. Change starts with us. Every time we resist clicking on a shady headline, every time we choose to celebrate achievements instead of conflicts, every time we remember that celebrities are human beings with feelings, we chip away at the machine. And maybe that's the real takeaway from the Selena-Hailey saga. Not who copied who, or who shaded who, but the reminder that behind the gossip are two women trying to live, love, and breathe just like the rest of us. Maybe the real story isn't rivalry, it's resilience. So here we are, 13,000 words later, knee-deep in receipts, speculation, and psychological deep dives. What started as a story about social media stalking turned into a mirror held up to our own lives, our comparisons, our insecurities, our fascination with drama. Yes, Hailey may or may not be imitating Selena. Yes, fans may or may not be fueling the feud. Yes, the media may or may not be exaggerating at all. But at the end of the day, the real question isn't about them, it's about us. Why do we care? What does it say about our culture? And what can we do to make social media a place of connection instead of competition? Selena Gomez once said, "You're enough just as you are." Hailey Bieber has spoken about the importance of protecting your peace. Maybe, just maybe, those are the lessons we should carry from this saga. That instead of comparing, we can celebrate. Instead of tearing down, we can lift up. Instead of fueling feuds, we can choose empathy. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Hailey's actions are innocent coincidences, or do you believe there's something more intentional behind the similarities? And more importantly, what lessons have you taken from watching this unfold? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share this article with your fellow pop culture enthusiasts, and let's turn this conversation from gossip into growth. And hey, if you enjoyed diving deep into this saga, make sure you stay connected for more stories that unpack the drama, the psychology, and the lessons behind today's biggest headlines. Because trust me, this ride, it's only just getting started. In another news.
Kendall, who is your least favourite member of Taylor Swift's squad?
If I told you that one of the most glamorous friendships in Hollywood, two young women at the top of their fame, both adored, both constantly in the headlines, suddenly imploded because of boys, drama, and a little bit of betrayal, would you be surprised? Probably not. But when the two names in question are Selena Gomez and Kendall Jenner, the story takes on a whole new level of fascination. After all, we're talking about one of the world's biggest pop stars and one of the fashion industry's most recognizable faces. What could possibly go so wrong between two A-list beauties who seemed like they had it all? Well, pull up a chair, grab your popcorn, and get comfy, because today we're diving into the tangled web of friendships, feuds, love triangles, and loyalty tests that make this Hollywood story one of the most talked about sagas of the last decade. It's almost hard to imagine now, given everything that's been said since, but there was a time when Selena Gomez and Kendall Jenner actually hung out together. They were photographed going to parties, sharing moments at high-profile events, and even appearing to be part of the same glittering social circle. Back in the early 2010s, Selena was at the height of her Disney queen turned pop star era, and Kendall was just beginning to transition from being Kim Kardashian's little sister into a force in the modeling world. On the surface, they seemed like a perfect pair, young, ambitious, beautiful, and climbing the ladder of fame side by side. But as we've all seen time and time again in the entertainment industry, friendships forged in Hollywood spotlight often have expiration dates. The glamour hides the cracks, and once the flashbulbs fade, insecurities, jealousy, and messy personal lives creep in. For Selena and Kendall, those cracks widened quickly. And at the center of the tension was none other than Justin Bieber. Now, let's be honest, no Hollywood feud is complete without some good old-fashioned love triangle drama. Selena Gomez's on-again, off-again relationship with Justin Bieber wasn't just a romance. It was practically a saga of its own. Fans across the world were invested in every breakup, every makeup, and every emotional song lyric that seemed to hint at their roller coaster love. Enter Kendall Jenner. Rumors started to swirl that Selena caught Kendall and Justin getting a little too friendly during one of Selena and Justin's on phases. Whether it was innocent flirting or something more serious depends on which Hollywood insider you believe, but the whispers alone were enough to send shockwaves through Selena's inner circle. Imagine dating someone for years, only to feel like your friend might be crossing lines with him. Awkward doesn't even begin to cover it. And then came the alleged text messages and photographs. According to reports, Selena discovered messages from Kylie Jenner, Kendall's sister, on Justin's phone, and these messages weren't exactly friendly banter. That revelation alone created tension, but when you throw Kendall into the mix as Justin's rumored confidant, things turned from uncomfortable to downright explosive. By 2014, Selena Gomez had publicly entered rehab for the first time. While the official reason was cited as lupus and exhaustion, the media did what it always does, speculated wildly. Some tabloids claimed drugs and alcohol were involved, while others painted Selena as a young star who was buckling under the weight of fame. Here's where things got ugly. According to sources at the time, Kendall and Kylie Jenner decided to cut ties with Selena during this vulnerable period. One insider even told TMZ that the Jenner sisters believed Selena was a bad influence and had gotten out of control. To add salt to the wound, this was the same year Selena dropped new music and tried to reclaim her narrative, but instead of support, she allegedly got judgment and distance from the very people she thought were her friends. But if Kendall was willing to step away from Selena in her lowest moment, what does that say about their friendship in the first place? No Hollywood feud story is complete without bringing in Taylor Swift's famous squad. Remember those days when Taylor's girl gang dominated red carpets, magazine covers, and music videos? Selena Gomez was one of Taylor's closest allies in that era, practically the crown jewel of the squad. Kendall Jenner, on the other hand, was always a little more complicated. Why? Because Kendall had ties to Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, the very same pair who had one of the most infamous feuds in pop culture history with Taylor Swift. You don't need a degree in celebrity politics to see where this was going. When Taylor fell out with Kanye and Kim after that phone call, many fans noticed Kendall seemed to stick with her family ties rather than with Selena and Taylor. And in the messy world of Hollywood loyalty, that choice did not go unnoticed. For Selena, who was fiercely loyal to Taylor, Kendall's decision may have felt like yet another betrayal. After all, How can you stay friends with someone who chooses the side of your friend's biggest enemy? When celebrity friendships crumble, fans become the loudest commentators. In Selena and Kendall's case, the internet was divided. Selena's fans, always vocal and passionate, were quick to defend her, pointing out that she had worked her way up from Disney stardom to global superstardom through talent and resilience. They saw Kendall and Kylie as famous for being famous, riding the coattails of their family's reality show while Selena poured her heart into her craft. On the flip side, Kendall's defenders painted Selena as a drama magnet. They argued that the rehab, the emotional outbursts, and the messy Justin Bieber saga were evidence that Selena wasn't the easiest friend to have. To them, Kendall and Kylie weren't betrayers, they were survivors, distancing themselves from someone they believed was dragging them down. Here's the million-dollar question: was Kendall Jenner truly the villain in this story, or was Selena Gomez also playing her part in the drama? Some Hollywood insiders insist Kendall crossed the line by flirting with Justin and distancing herself from Selena at her lowest point. Others argue Selena's fiery messages, emotional confrontations, and squad loyalty politics made her just as guilty of fanning the flames. What's undeniable is that this friendship ended in a storm of rumors, accusations, and shade, and unlike many Hollywood feuds, it never really found resolution. While both women went on to build their own massive empires. Selena with her music, acting, and rare beauty line, Kendall with her modeling career and 818 tequila, they never rekindled what they once had. One of the hardest pills to swallow in this entire saga is how quickly things went from smiles to shade. Remember when Kendall and Selena were photographed together at Coachella, hanging out like any carefree group of 20-somethings? That memory didn't last long. Fans went into overdrive, dissecting every move. Was it because of Justin? Was it because of the messages? Was it because Selena felt betrayed by not one, but both Jenner sisters? Whatever the reason, the unfollow was the line in the sand. And Kendall didn't exactly play peacemaker. Instead of reaching out publicly to squash the rumors, she was seen at events with Justin, sharing laughs and smiles that only poured gasoline on the fire. It wasn't just silence, it felt like a performance of indifference. In Hollywood, that's louder than words. But here's the kicker. Some fans swear that Kendall throwing shade didn't stop at Instagram. They point to moments in interviews, sly expressions at award shows, and even the infamous pretend puking stunt as proof that Kendall wasn't just done with Selena, she wanted the world to know it. And when feuds become public spectacles, the drama only gets harder to untangle. It's one thing to have a fight with your friends. It's another thing to have that fight splashed across every tabloid, gossip blog, and entertainment segment on TV. The media loved the Selena-Kendall feud. For them, it was ratings gold, a pop princess battling a supermodel from America's most famous family. Think about it, two massive fandoms, the Bieber angle, Taylor Swift squad drama, rehab rumors, Hollywood's obsession with fallen Disney stars. The press didn't just report the feud, they framed it like a soap opera. Headlines like Selena cuts ties with the Jenner sisters and Kendall Jenner relieved to drop toxic Gomez sold papers, got clicks, and made the story bigger than it might have been otherwise. And here's the cruel part, when the media feeds off your personal drama, it's almost impossible to move past it. Even if Selena and Kendall wanted to reconcile, the constant headlines kept the wound fresh. Every new rumor, every paparazzi shot, every anonymous, insider source made healing harder. So while the betrayal might have been real, the press made sure it became permanent. For Kendall, Justin was more of a friend-turned-flirtation, at least according to the rumors. But that flirtation was enough to create an irreparable crack in her friendship with Selena. Even if nothing physical ever happened, the perception that Kendall was stepping into dangerous territory was enough to brand her as the betrayer in the eyes of Selena's fans. At the end of the day, Justin wasn't just a boyfriend. He was the catalyst that turned an ordinary falling out into a Hollywood scandal. It's easy to paint Kendall as the villain in this story. After all, she was the one allegedly flirting with Justin, the one aligning herself with Kim and Kanye, the one rumored to shade Selena in public. But before we cast her as the ultimate betrayer, let's consider her perspective. Kendall was young too. She was balancing her modeling career, the pressures of her family's fame, and the constant scrutiny of being in the Kardashian-Jenner clan. To her, Selena's rehab, her roller coaster romance with Justin, and her emotional outbursts might have felt overwhelming. Maybe Kendall wasn't being cruel. Maybe she was setting boundaries. And then there's the jealousy angle. Fans love to pit women against each other, especially in Hollywood. Was Kendall genuinely out to hurt Selena, or was she just living her life while the media exaggerated every move? Could it be that the puking moment was just a joke taken out of context, or an inside joke fans were never meant to see? On the flip side, let's not pretend Selena was a perfect angel in all of this. By her own admission, she was struggling during those years, struggling with lupus, struggling with mental health, and struggling with the kind of fame that can eat you alive. For friends, even well-meaning ones, that can be a lot to carry. Selena has always been fiercely loyal, sometimes to a fault. She wears her heart on her sleeve, which is part of why fans love her. But that same trait can make friendships difficult, especially in Hollywood, where subtlety and diplomacy often win out over confrontation. Here's the real tea. It's been years since Selena and Kendall were even photographed together, and yet fans are still talking about their falling out. Why? Because it represents something bigger than just two celebrities not getting along. It's about how fame warps friendships. It's about how loyalty is tested when the stakes are sky high. And it's about how women in the public eye are constantly forced into narratives of betrayal and competition, whether they want to be or not. For Selena, the feud became part of her struggle years storyline, a period when everything seemed to be going wrong. For Kendall, it reinforced her reputation as someone who chooses family and self-preservation over messy friendships. And for fans, it became a symbol of how complicated young Hollywood friendships can be when the whole world is watching. If there's one takeaway from the Selena versus Kendall feud, it's this: not all friendships are built to last, especially when tested by fame, love, and loyalty wars. Selena and Kendall could have been unstoppable together, but instead, they drifted apart in a storm of rumors and betrayals. The irony? Both of them came out stronger. Selena built an empire with rare beauty, released critically acclaimed music, and became a mental health advocate. Kendall became one of the most in-demand models in the world and launched her own business ventures. Maybe they didn't need each other after all. But still, fans can't help but wonder, if Justin had never been in the picture, if Taylor hadn't feuded with Kim and Kanye, if the media hadn't blown everything up, would Selena and Kendall still be friends today? Now I want to hear from you, because let's be real, gossip is best when it's shared. Do you think Kendall Jenner truly betrayed Selena Gomez, or was Selena too much to handle at the time? Could this friendship ever be rekindled, or is it forever lost in the Hollywood history books? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to share this article with your friends. Because let's face it, hot tea is always better when it's spilled together.